I just thought, well, I'll do something with rolling balls, and I did a few, and they were popular, so I did more. Each pathway that the ball takes is a different drama, as I call it, because the events happen in a certain sequence, uh, analogous to drama, where you have uh, the ball gets into certain difficulties, does a few things. Maybe there's some conflict. They hit or they wander, whatever it is. And then there's some kind of dramatic conclusion. They bounce, they go into a catcher, and that's it. Or whatever it be. Sometimes there's an anticlimax. I'm always trying to achieve randomness in these pieces because mechanical motion is regular by its nature almost. A motor goes around in a set pattern and at a set speed usually. And so I introduce randomness in various ways. I try to semi-randomness. It's not true randomness, but I get as close as I can.
What are some of your favorite devices that you can think of?
Well, I like the device where the ball hits the top of a pendulum and causes it to move down and from straight up to right angles. And then when the pendulum reaches the bottom, the right angle, the ball rolls a little bit inward toward the pivot, which lightens the load. So it's brought back up again by the natural action of the pendulum. And at that point, when it reaches the top, then the ball spills out onto the track. So I think that's a pretty good one. Involves several physical principles, and it's entertaining. Another is simply to have the ball roll into a circular, semicircular track at the top of the track, and then roll back and forth until it dies down. And then at the bottom, instead of skipping over a gap, it falls into the gap and continues on. That's something that happens automatically also, which is kind of fun.
One of my favorites is the chaos wheel that brings in balls from two opposite sides. Do you want to describe how that works?
Well, there's a wheel with little compartments around the edge to hold the ball, evenly spaced. When the ball comes in toward the wheel, it falls into one of the compartments on the wheel and sends it in a certain direction, clockwise, say. And then a ball comes in from the other side and falls into one of the compartments on the edge and sends the wheel in the other direction. So you never know which way the wheel is going to go or how fast.
It does relate to a day when people loved machines for their own sake. When the early locomotives came along, and the farm machinery, and all the 19th century mechanisms, they were open to view. You could see what happened. These great big steam engines with the flywheel and the pistons all right there. In my work, I want to expose everything as much as I can. And I think I do, except for the motors. They have to be housed. So it relates to that excitement with machinery, which is largely gone, I think. So there's nostalgia, perhaps, in that respect. People who've seen the piece at the Port Authority in New York City say that several have said they missed their bus because they were glued to the piece there. And also in that place, the street people love it. They cluster around it and watch it. The balls are impersonal. It's like a blank, an actor with a blank face on the screen. You can impose any emotion you want to on that actor's face. Maybe it's the same with balls. They can represent whatever you want them to as they move around.
So I thought then it was interesting to watch the ball do its job, so I thought of other things that the ball could do. And that was my main impetus from then on.
How do you think a ball machine can change or transform a space?
Well, they certainly call attention to themselves. They definitely form a center of attention. The sounds certainly create an atmosphere in the space, and the lighting. So they definitely have their effect on the environment.